Equity and inclusion has never been accomplished before. In fact, when we achieved a measure of it, it was through federal consent decrees. And when those ended in the mid-1980s, all of the diversity started to go down. We are making improvement without federal mandates, without federal consent decrees. And we've established cadet programs that can be a pipeline into these public safety organizations without lowering standards. You see, we have bragged for years that we train at twice the level required by the state of Ohio. And so when we bring these young cadets in and give them this best training that exists in the state of Ohio, clearly we're not lowering standards if they are able to be hired by Columbus. And so these are cadets who haven't taken a civil service test, but they are trained by the best at the highest level that exists in the state of Ohio. And so our next goal is to make sure that we're able to hire as many of them as we can. I think that's critically important, and it's never been done here before. And so there were a number of other departments that had been doing this a long time ago. In fact, that's how me and Mayor Ginther made our connection 15 years or so ago. Was he took me to lunch and asked me how could we improve diversity even if it costs $1 million. And I was excited to tell him about my ideas of a cadet program. And the reason I felt that that was so important was I studied and analyzed our hiring patterns here in Columbus going back to 1975. And I looked at every class. And more than 50% of those that we hired on the fire department were already firefighters or paramedics. And so then they'd come here, take our civil service tests, and become Columbus firefighters. So there's an existing pipeline. It just didn't include any women and minorities. And so I concluded that we needed to establish a program here in Columbus that takes women and minorities and turn them into firefighters and paramedics. And let's include the police department on this. I think it's a huge opportunity for us here in the city of Columbus, as long as we can continue to make that claim, to provide that type of investment, particularly in Columbus, young people, the next generation of our police officers and firefighters, that will also serve to improve trust and legitimacy in our community,